Alright guys, so we just read The Mosquitoes That Buzz in People's Ears. Our Why Do Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. And so now we're going to work on making our artwork that goes along with it. So you guys are going to get a bunch of different squares. So you're going to get 3 of these big ones to start out with, and 1 long red rectangle. And then we're going to make a pattern. So they might all be different. They might be 2 the same, 1 different, but they shouldn't all be the same color. So if you notice, if I fit 3 of them going next to each other, they fit together. So what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to glue those onto that paper. So I'm going to flip these over, and notice that we're using a different glue today. So this is the glue that we normally use, and this is the glue we're using today. And it opens up a little bit differently. There's this little top that you have to just kind of pull off. It's easy if you twist and pull, and please do not lose these. I like to just stand it up on the corner and use it like that. So you gotta make sure it can breathe. If glue comes out, then it's breathing. And I'm gonna put 3 dots of glue on each corner, or on each side, and 1 in the middle. And then you can flip it over and stick it on. Am I slapping it? No, you're not slapping it. So I would keep doing that all the way across. I want to show you that as I flip it over, I make sure that each spot is touching the other one before it, and then I just tap it down. And it's okay if you get glue on the table. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take squares that are the same size, and you're going to be cutting them into circles. So see that these are the same size? So you're going to get 3 of them, and you're going to cut them into circles. If you want to try just cutting off the edge of your square this time, you can. So just taking your scissor and cutting off just the little circle. Because this is what we do when we big chip, little chip, little chip. Because we're trying to make the biggest circle that we can. Or you can still big chip, little chip, little chip. Turn paper, big chip, little chip, little chip. Make sure all your scraps stay in a pile. My pile is over here off the side of the paper. So you're going to do that to each one of your things, and you're going to, so for 3 of them, and I'm going to just do a couple of dots of glue. Notice that when I'm squeezing this glue, I actually have to hold it upside down, and I have to squeeze it like this. So I don't squeeze it like I would hold a normal glue, or you can squeeze it with 2 hands. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to glue it down in the middle of these. So you see how you can see where you would cut it off for the last ones. So you're going to keep doing this all the way across, and you're going to cut all those squares into circles. So I'm going to glue, because this glue is very sticky. Try not to touch it with your fingers, but it won't hurt you if it gets on you. Holding my paper down. And this is a fun material. This is what's called felt. So it's not paper, it's kind of like a cloth, fabric. So I'm pressing them down, and then we're going to get it. So we started out with this size square. So now we're going to get an even smaller one, and then an even smaller one, and finally the smallest one. And we're going to cut circles out of all of them, so it winds up looking like a target at the end. So I'm going to get my little bit smaller paper. Oops, this is my little bit smaller paper here. And I'm going to either try to just cut off the corner, like that, or you can still big chip, little chip, little chip. Either one. You guys are pros at big chip, little chip, little chip, so you can definitely do that. Make sure you put all these scraps in a pile. And then again, each time the circle gets smaller, you'll have to put less and less glue on it. So with these circles, you don't have to put them right on top of each other. You can put it like off to the side like this, just a little bit. I don't think I want it that far over. But maybe the next one I'll put down over here, and then maybe my last one I'll put right in the middle. So we'll keep doing that. Next comes our even smaller paper, or not paper. I keep telling you guys it's not paper. Felt. And felt's going to be a little bit more difficult for you guys to cut. So make sure that when you're cutting it, you're opening your scissors up all the way, and you're kind of pushing the scissors together with your thumb and your middle finger. Okay. Putting it off to the side. And again, when you layer these inside, making sure your paper can move, You can kind of, I'm going to keep going off to that same side as I cut them. So this one I'm going to put down to the side over here, and this one I'm going to put right in the middle. And then finally, so you glue them on, the smallest one, so you can see how small this one is. So altogether you're going to wind up having 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. I'm going to cut these off. And if you're big chip, little chipping these little ones, make sure you make them tiny, tiny little chips. Right there, and then here in the middle, and finally this last one down in the corner. Okay, so this is our project. Now that it's all done, make sure everything's glued on. And once you're done, you're going to flip your paper over, and you're going to glue on your project tag. And the project tag you can just glue on with 4 dots of glue of this glue. Flip it over, make sure your name is on it, and then we're done. Alright guys, if you have any questions, let me know.